Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is gonna be my first ever video into the journey of trying to put this 1952 top set together. And one of the reasons why I was so enthused to put this set together was because of Dylan over at Double D Vintage Cards. Double shocker to my man. This 4-pocket pages is how he likes to display his cards with card savers, or whether it be in slabs. So that's what inspired me. I was like, I can enjoy looking at my cards all together in a set if they're displayed exactly the way that Dylan does it. So let me take a few seconds to set this up. So I'm gonna get into a couple things. One, probably into some of the history of some of these ball players, because a lot of them are very obscure. And also, I love the fact that some of these cards display so well. Look at how beautiful this one is. And as you could tell, it has staining on the corner, but it doesn't detract from the overall eye appeal. And this is what I'm shooting for. Something of this little low tier grade, but that presents very beautifully. So Hank Thompson, just to get into what I've researched about him, he was a man of a lot of firsts. You know, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, but this man fell nothing short. He was second fiddle to him, but he was the first to break the barrier for the St. Louis Browns. And also he was the first to team up with another fellow ball player, Willard Brown, with the St. Louis Browns. And then he was the first with the Giants to break their barrier, and then the first to team up with Monty Irvin, who was the first duo they formed. He was also the first to play against Larry Doby with the Browns. And then with the Giants, he was the first to bat up against Don Newcomb in the Dodgers. And then he also formed the first all-black outfield along with Irving and Willie Mays. So that's pretty cool. Hank Thompson. Next up, one of the main reasons why I wanted to go after this set was the landscape cards. Just look at this card. It is like looking at a art in museum. The puffy clouds, the players in the background, the detailing, the colors. It's just so much about this card just speaks to me, which is why I went after a really nice copy. This one looks like it'll grade like a 7, somewhere around there, an 8 maybe. Very beautiful. This man, Bob Elliott, won the 1947 MVP. Very nice card there. Next up, I have a Red Sox here by Johnny Pesky. All you Red Sox fans know the right field pole was named after him. The reason why, if you don't know, was because he was a contact hitter, but he did manage to hit 17 home runs throughout his career, and 6 of them happened to be wrapped around that pole. So that's why he had that pole named after him, Johnny Pesky. This one here is Jim Hegan. Another example. Look how beautiful the details are with Jim, with his catcher's gear, the people in the background. They use a little brown washing in the back there, as you could tell. And Jim Hegan was a 5-time All-Star. He was considered one of the best defensive outfielders of his era. And he also won a World Series as a player, 2 more as a coach. This one over here is one that's near and dear to my heart because fellow YouTuber Sean Tiefer gifted me this card when he found out that I was trying to put this set together. Billy Goodman of the Red Sox, filthy Red Sox may I add, he actually was a really good hitter. He won the batting title in 1950 with a 354 average. And what's funny is, he actually didn't have a position. They didn't even know where to play this guy because there were so many good players on the team. But Ted Williams eventually got hurt, Bobby Doerr, and so many other players. He became a utility player that played every day and was able to put together that 354 average. So as you could tell, the slabs fit in here very nicely along with these card savers, giving you this nice look. I forgot to mention this one over here has glue with Johnny Pesky, but the eye appeal was why I didn't mind picking this one up. And the glue in the background, that allowed me to pick this one up very cheap. I'm trying to pick them up anywhere from $3 to $8 for the commons. And then based on eye appeal or the condition of the card, I might bump it up like I did with that Bob Elliott. Next up, I have this Mel Parnell. Mel Parnell was the one who anointed Johnny Pesky the nickname of that pole, Pesky's pole. And it's because he felt that every time he pitched, it seemed that's when he happened to wrap that home run around that pole. But Mel Parnell was actually really good. He was a really good pitcher who in 1949 happened to have a record of 25-7 along with a 2.77 ERA. He was also a good hitter for a pitcher and also a good defensive pitcher. Mel Parnell. Let's start a new page here. This one is Elmer Valo. Elmer Valo actually set a record of hitting 2 bases clearing triple with the bases loaded in the same game. And then later on in the season, he went ahead and hit another triple, hit another triple with the bases loaded to tie a major league record that was set in 1918. Elmer Valo. And next up, I have one that I shared before in my 1950s MVP video. Hank Sawyer, big time home run hitter, big time slugger. This man was imposing in the National League, played for the Cubs. So next up, I have Lou Kretlau. Lou Kretlau was actually a native Apache Indian who played 11 seasons in the majors. Very nice picture there. For the White Sox. And next up I have Leo Kiley, I believe is his name. Leo Kiley was a .500 pitcher, but his main distinction, claim to fame, was that he was the first Major League Baseball player who signed with the Japanese team. He went out there after the Korean War in 1953 and signed with the team. Leo Kiley. So with the next page, I have here Tuki Gilbert. This one is also a near and dear card to me because Jake, Legends Never Dies, I traded this card. I traded up because I have one with wrinkles, and this one with such a nice picture, I decided I wanted one that looked really nice without any creases. So Tuki Gilbert, he came from a family of baseball players. His brother and father also played in the majors, but he didn't do too much with the majors. Tuki Gilbert. And then this one is very beautiful. Look how it presents very well. Cliff Chambers. I do believe this one has paper loss in the back. Yep, there it goes, paper loss. But I will take a card like this all day long that presents this beautifully. This pitcher actually pitched a no-hitter with the Pirates and then got traded. Could you believe that? Also, another pitcher that had that dubious distinction was Edward Jackson in 2010, who pitched a no-hitter and then later on got traded. I could never believe you would pitch a no-hitter, go through this extreme high of that success, and then to an extreme low of what the hell? You just traded me? What? Rough. So next up I have Vernon Law. Look at this landscape card. It's a picture from underneath his windup. And this one's kind of funny because it has like these trees, which you never see trees in a card. Usually you see the stands or the field. So I don't know if he was in a park taking this pic. But yeah, this man helped the Pirates win in 1960, a champion. He also was a Cy Young Award winner that year. So along with the championship, he put together that award with, let me put this in here. He had a 20-9 record with a 3.08 ERA. So next up, I have someone who I think his name is French. I think it's Dwayne P.A. or Pellet. Not sure. This card has everything that I love about it, from the details of the St. Louis Browns logo to his uni, the way it picks up everything, to the background. So this card is a winner in my book, but he was the leader in losses in 51, as you could tell. He had a 6-14 record. And he was a loser. Not only for that, but his apple didn't fall far from the tree. His dad also led the league in losses while with the Tigers in 1923. So it's almost like he was doomed to failure as a loser. Next up, I have Billy Johnson. Billy the Bull Johnson. This guy throughout the 40s played for the Yankees for third base and helped them win 4 championships. The reason why he was nicknamed the Bull was because he measured at 5'10 and weighed 180, but he was built like a tank, manning third base. And this is another one that is just gorgeous. I love the angle where they got him, the brown wash in the background. It's just a beautiful pic. There was certain artists that chose to do like a brown wash in the background, which is pretty cool. Lets the image just pop there. And then there's other artists that felt compelled to put a halo glow around their players, like with Dale Coogan here. And this one has a little paper loss, as you could tell right there, but the image is gorgeous, has decent centering. Dale Coogan, he hit his one only home run that almost got rained out. He was like a career minor leaguer, and he got called up, hit a home run, and it was almost rained out. A month and a half later, they continued the game while he was in the minors. But at least that home run counted. So good for you there, Coogan. This man right here, no need to explain. With the heater from Van Meter, Bob Fella, Bullet Bob. 8-time All-Star, Triple Crown winner, 3 no-nos, World Series champ at 48. I could go on and on. 266 wins. Almost was a 300 game winner, but he lost 4 years due to serving in World War II. 4 years in his prime that he probably could have had 320 wins. Who knows? What I love about Bob Fella was that at 17 was when he made his major league debut as a starter, and he set the record for strikeouts with 15. And then 3 weeks later, he goes and ties Dizzy Dean's strikeout in a game record with 17. So after that year, he goes back to high school and finishes his senior year. Could you believe that? He sets 2 records as a major leaguer, and then he goes back to high school to finish his year. And what? Did he have to actually try out for his baseball team? Could you imagine? So I'm going to wind this down. I got a few left here. I have Al Sema. Al Sema played 4 years. He wasn't too great of a pitcher, but he did accomplish finishing things off for the Philadelphia Athletics franchise. He closed out that franchise and also put an end to his career that same game where he pitched the 9th inning, a scoreless frame, and said goodbye to his career and to the Philadelphia Athletics franchise. Al Sema. And next up, I got Sam Mealy. Sam Mealy led the league in doubles in 51. But his name was actually not Sam. It was Sabbath, Anthony Mealy. So what they did was they used the S, A, and the M, and they made it into Sam. Could you believe that? His name had nothing to do with Sam, and they called him Sam Mealy because of that. And this will be the last one I'll share. Ken Holcomb. Ken Holcomb didn't do too much with the majors, but I love this picture. So like the other one I showed you had brown washing, this one had green washing in the background. So as you could tell with these 2 cards here, they both use a technique where they green wash the background to let the players pop. And Ken Holcomb, his best season was the year before, where you could see he won 11 games. He had 12 by complete game, and that was his best year. So at least he goes down with this card having the best year in the back stats, which is not too bad. And with that, I'm gonna make this episode 1. I'm gonna have so much fun trying to put this set together, and I have a lot of hard ones to pick up. I do have a lot more to show. I have all of these plus pickups, so it should be fun sharing you all of these players and what I find out about their seasons or their career. So join me in the next one. It's going to be fun. I have Willie Mays to pick up, Jackie Robinson, Eddie Matthews, all the high number series. So that's going to be really tough. But hey, nobody said it had to be easy. And the tougher it is, the more fun it is if you are able to put it together. So with that being said, I'm going to wish everyone happy hunting when it comes to cards. I want everyone to stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one.